Yo, what's up? My name's Isaac, and if you don't know me, the past 6.5 years I've been doing calisthenics. But what's important about this year and why I've rebooted my YouTube channel is because in 6 months' time, I'll be a 7-year athlete. And so that means I'm no longer a small fish in a small pond. I'm a small fish in the big ocean. We're swimming with sharks here, and we're going to get skills such as straight on touch and Maltese and like 5 pull up the touch, planche push-ups. That's all going to happen, right? Now, what have I been doing the past 3 months? Well, I started the year off at 80 kilos and then I lost 13 kilos in 3.5 months. And I've also gained awesome skills such as the Maltese, planche, front lever touch, and trying to get the straight arm touch. And this series is called Road to Pro. So 6 months from now, which is 24 weeks, I will be competing again in the Sydney fitexpo, and I'll be dieting hard, training hard. So I'm going to show you exactly what I'll be doing, but I'm also going to give you a unique perspective. I'll also be showing you what it's like to run a competition because I organize all the competitions in Australia. So I'll give you an inside scoop of what goes into these events. But when I was in Melbourne Fit Expo, which was a week ago, I competed for the first time in a while and I celebrated by eating a lot of junk food. So gained 5 kilos, ended up constipated, vomiting, not really good. But now it's the winter arc for Australia. I'm going to lock in, okay? 24 weeks. We're doing a 24-week series. This is Road to Pro. Okay, this floor planche, completely unexpected. I didn't know I was going to hold it like that. Yes, this planche push-up, yo, I was so hyped because the last time I had a planche push-up that good was a whole year ago. And in my broadcast channel on my Instagram, I basically said that this is the start of my peak. A planche push-up is like serious stuff. When you want to just span them, it's easy. When you want to do it into a hold, into a traction, which I kind of did over there, then it's semi-easy. But if you want to do a push-up into a nice protracted hold and then press, that is like a next level skill. And that's what I want this year. We got our good form negative back. That was really, really interesting because there's so much technique when it comes to doing a negative. But if you just feel really, really strong and you are strong, then negatives are so easy. It just clicks like that. So that's me doing my front lever sets. I just felt really light that day and I could just move my body so well. I don't really care about front lever now. It's something that just improves on its own. Like I'm genetically gifted at pull, but all I really want is planche and Maltese at this point. So you can see me doing a 4-foot Maltese and I felt really, really good in this position. So I was pretty much ready to go for a 4'5" full attempt. And you'll see when I do that. So this combo, I only tried it once before and that was in gymnastics. I decided to send it outside and I got it like first go. And this is my 6-piece combo. I've still yet to get this combo on like a really good camera. I've only got it on this Osmo, but first go, after not trying it for a while, I was just as surprised as the people watching. But that was insane. That's like my favorite combo. A little bit of knowledge when it comes to calisthenics. You have under the bar moves, you have over the bar moves, you have spins and you have flips. That 6-piece combo that I did, it was pretty much a mix of everything. And I just synced everything together without breaking it up with muscle ups. Here's me doing that first combo with a really good camera. But the second combo that I did, the 6-piece combo that I really liked, I haven't gotten it good on camera yet. So I'm just waiting for that. Yo, and this is the infamous Maltese. That's 4.5 feet. And I held it so well. It's crazy. Literally, it took me 1 month to get Maltese. I was doing it with a black band and a red band at 73.3 kilos. And once I dropped my weight to 71, then I just unlocked it. Weight loss is so important when it comes to getting these advanced skills. I've got 2 pull up the touches. That was awesome. And 3 presses. I knew that I returned to peak as soon as I did this. Like, 3 presses is no joke for me. The dead stop press. There's pretty much a day before I went to Sydney, because I had to go from Sydney to the Melbourne fitexpo. But do you know what's crazy about this session? I got off the plane and I went to see my cousins because that's why I went to my hometown. And I did like a sat attempt to a super full planche. And then I did a bunch of floor planches. And then I walked 3 kilometers, literally from Town Station to Crown Towers with all my luggage. My traps are feeling so sore. I took off all my clothes and then put on chalk, got ready to do some sets. And it was literally the best session that I've ever had. Still surprises me to this day. I literally felt like I was floating. Planche didn't even feel hard. Probably my first glimpse of being an elite athlete ever. This video, I was really surprised at my soupy full hold. Sat wasn't anything too special. The bars were really thin. This is one of my most aesthetic calisthenics videos. I was feeling really weak that day and really heavy, but I managed to get a good planche hold, which I was happy about, even after feeling that crap. This is me 1 week out from my competition. It's a physique check, and I just got a massive pump from training front lever, and my back looked absolutely insane. Just look at it. Shoo! This physique check, this was 5 days out from my competition, 1 day out from carb loading, and it's the driest I've ever looked. You see my delts are just completely striated. If you look at this pose, scorpion back, boom. The lighting was immaculate. Like, I had people holding the light to move it in different angles. So boys really carried the shot. Oh, that's insane. This session was a game changer when it came to the multis because I had to warm up like an hour before attempting a 4'5" multis. But in this session, it was cold. I still had like long pants on and my compression didn't really warm up properly. And I just sent it and I didn't have any injuries, no pains, and it was a really good hold. So very happy with that. And I did it for 2 sets as well, which was another groundbreaking thing for me. Also did a bunch of soupy full holds, which was awesome. Didn't expect to hold it for that long. The traction isn't there obviously, but I'm going to improve it in these next 6 weeks. Also did a few combos and my normal planche hold was pretty powerful and I was able to press all of them. This is the second session that I did this park a week later. And I actually strained my neck this session, so I couldn't go absolutely hard, but I still gave my all. I did manage to do a straddle negative to a 4-foot Maltese. So if you're wondering what my Maltese looks like at 4 feet, this is what it is. I'm just so dialed in on Maltese and planche push-up right now. I don't even care about front lever. I do obviously care about dynamics because it's just super, super fun. So I'll show you dynamics this arc, and we might even play like a game of bars or something, but that's just what it is. Yo, good morning guys. As you may know, I'm preparing for a calisthenics competition, but I'm doing it as if I'm preparing for a bodybuilding show as well, because when you're doing calisthenics, you want to stay really light, and the lighter you are and the more muscle mass you maintain, the more your relative strength increases. And so I'm going to show you what I've been eating the past 10 days at 1,600 calories to get this really flat physique. So obviously I look good, you know, I'm a shredded cunt, I'm a big cunt, but I'm on a keto diet, and so having less than 30 grams of carbs means that I have nothing in my glycogen stores, right? And my diet looks like this essentially. 4 eggs, we have an avocado, we have 300 grams of steak, and then in this box over here, we have 300 grams of chicken. And then I'll throw in like a protein bar to fill it up, and that'll be 1,600 calories. in order for me to eat more food, I'll have to do more cardio. So most days I'll burn 300 calories through bike riding or walking, and then I'll add that back as food to help me with my hunger. This is what I've been doing the past 10 days. What's special about today and why I'm filming it is because this is my last meal before I do a 24-hour fast, and then 9 a.m. on Tuesday, I'll actually be doing something called carb loading. So I'll explain more in depth what carb loading is, but essentially your body, when you run out of carbohydrates and you're really flat, you go through a process of super compensation, because when you then add carbs back into your diet, then you'll actually blow up. Like your muscles get so big and they get filled up and you feel really, really strong. I'm going to go into this with a bit more detail, but this is the diet I've been having. Now, obviously, I didn't start at 1,600 calories, and don't try and attempt this unless your body hasn't been adapted. But the start of the year, I was eating a ketogenic diet, which means having less than 50 grams of carbs every single day, which is mainly just meat, fatty foods like avocado, chicken. And so I went from eating 2,200 calories at 50 grams of carbs to then going to 1,800 calories with 50 grams of carbs, and then reducing the carbs to 30, and then going to 1,600 calories for the past 10 days. I'm feeling so tired. I'm going to cook this meal. I'm going to dig into it. I'm going to enjoy this last bit of food before I go into a carb loading phase. So stick around to find out what that is. This is what carb loading looks like for a calisthenics athlete that's 5 days out from competition. There's not many carb loading videos on the internet. So I will show you exactly what I'm eating, the rationale behind all these ingredients, and an in-depth breakdown on kind of like the science behind it. So there are a few contradictions with calisthenics. The less you weigh and the more mass you maintain, the more your relative strength goes up for skills like the planche, Maltese, front lever, straight on touch. And so by eating carbs, I am going to get more water weights. But since I'm preparing for this competition and I've gone so shredded, I've lost 13 kilos and I'm really, really strong, then I might as well just try to prep like a bodybuilder, because it is a fitness show that I'm going to be competing at. It's going to be lots of bodybuilders. So I want to kind of um, see what it's like to step in their shoes. So what is carb loading good for? Now, since I am so depleted in glycogen, I've been having less than 30 grams of carbs per day. My glycogen stores are depleted. And so your body will go through a process called supercompensation when you eat a bunch of carbs, and it'll basically blow up your muscles and make it look really, really cool on show day. And so that's what I'm doing here, trying to look big and fill my body with so much energy that I'm going to be really, really ready for competition. Um, so before we explain these ingredients, I'm going to go through the macros. So all this food here, it'll be 3,034 calories, and my maintenance is 2,800. But the past 10 days, I've been eating 1,600, and uh, previous to that, I was eating 1,800 for 14 days. And then before then, I was doing 2,200 for the past 3 months. So I've been on the cut for a while. That's how I lost 13 kgs. So this carb loading phase of having 3,034 calories is quite a big jump. And I'm doing this for 3 days. So the competition is on Saturday. And so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll be eating a lot of carbs. And then on Friday, I'll be managing my weight and seeing if I am feeling good, if I'm too heavy, um, and trying to prevent spilling over, which is just, absolutely tanking it and having a carb overload. So Friday's management, and then Saturday, I'll just be doing whatever it takes to keep a constant stream of energy, like lollies, electrolytes, caffeine, that kind of stuff. Pretty self-explanatory. So how do I calculate how many carbohydrates I have to eat for carb loading? So I weigh 67.1 kgs or around 149 pounds. I'm going to go in the lower end of carb loading. So I have 3 grams of carbs per pound of body weight. So roughly, that means I'll be at 440 grams of carbs per day. And I can go up to 600, but that will mean I'll have to sacrifice protein. I'll explain all this in a sec, but let's just start off with the foods. I got honey and pasta. This is ABC, which is almond, Brazil, and cashew butter. These are mental dates. These are rice cakes, salt, and water. Now I'm going to explain all of this in a second. But this has 100 grams of carbs if I have 130 grams of it. 150 grams of this will give me 100 grams of carbs. This whole packet, 14 cakes, will give me 100 grams of carbs. And then 165 grams of medjool dates will give me 100 grams of carbs. So roughly 440 throughout the whole day. And you may notice that it doesn't look like much food, but it packs a lot of calories. I'm keeping it calorie dense because with calisthenics, if I have too much volume of food, then I feel heavy. So why don't I pick pasta instead of rice? Well, rice is easier to digest. So on paper, it will be a better idea. And it's also really filling. And so some people will go with rice. But I chose pasta because for 150 grams, I'm getting 100 grams of carbs. Whereas with 750 grams, I'm getting 100 grams of carbs with rice. So this prep, I'll try 150 grams of pasta, although it's harder to digest. There's way less weight. But next comp, I will try 750 grams of rice and see how I go if I don't like the pasta. So I'm still experimenting. With the honey, that's just going to pack on with the rice cakes. So really low weight, but packs a punch. Rice cakes, obviously really light and easy to eat, and I can have it on the go anywhere. So I'm keeping it like a constant stream of carbs. And then I have ABC, which is my fat source. And I'll explain why I need fats. But then I've got mental dates, good source of fiber, and also carbs. So that makes up the 440 grams of carbs. Now, you don't want to have really hard digesting food as well, because when you're carb loading, you just want to pump everything into your glycogen stores. So anything that's easy to digest is good. But I'm also a calisthenics athlete, so I want to keep food volume low. That's the key difference between me and a bodybuilder. But why do I want fats? So when you eat too many carbs, then you get an insulin spike, which is a difference of level in blood sugar. So fats will help regulate that. And I'm going to have it through this. I'm going to dip the dates inside it. And you might also see on a table, why do I have water and salt? Well, water is going to obviously transport the glucose into my glycogen stores. And when I lose electrolytes through sweating and working out, then salt will maintain my fluid balance and make storing the glycogen more efficient and much better. So 5 grams of salt is what I need to have each day. And then I need to piss out all the water, right? Because 440 grams of carbs is pretty much a lot of water. Plus I'm having 6 liters of water per day. And so dandelion root is a natural diuretic, and caffeine is a natural diuretic as well. So I'll be pissing like a fountain the next 3 days. But that is pretty much it. I think I explained quite a lot. But besides that, like I said before, 3,034 calories is a lot when I'm usually eating 1,600 and my maintenance is 2,800. So I'll be aiming for about 250 to 300 calories burnt with cardio per day of carb loading. So wish me luck, guys. Comps in 5 days. I'm gonna fucking exhibit my strength. But on that, thanks for watching the video.
Make some noise! Muscle up 360 is a triple P bars, comes up, swing into the full bars. Wanna hold my leg back, then it's over into the front lever, up to touch. What amazing control demonstrated by him. Comes into the high bar, he's getting ready to set through. Transition to the front lever, solid holds all around, into the back lever, comes over,
2.5 kilos for his very first attempt at his dip.
And done.
This makes up noise. Round of applause. Nice. Elbow transition into full. Nice. 60. Big split giant. A split catch. Into the front lever. Nice. Back lever. Transitioning over here to the pirouettes. Nice. Touch battle. Into the press. Good hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 145 kilos. On the block. Nice saddle. Amazing work. So we do have a podium like the overall, which is decided based on RIS score. Both podiums will be done tomorrow. So if you're available, come back tomorrow. You have a chance to win the men's overall. Alright. Let's take a couple pictures, stay up there guys, smile, turn the box down, turn the better side. Steam handstand push-up, into a tiger band, into a 90 degree, up. Massive thanks to Matt, massive Bob, Tim Chalk for supplying these prizes. Give it up Tim one more time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Let's get our team now, podium.
First round, baby, let's go.
Come on, Isaac, catch it!
Going to the middle power, let's go. Nice full on knees. That's it. First straddle into a full hold. Into a floor combo. Nice, good handstand. Look at that. 90 degree. Up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and warm up for your dip now. Nice, good solid hold. Going to the solid hold. Good. Keeping the combo going. Up into the handstand. To the height and hold that. Good. So 90 degree. Explosive push up. Good. Another 90 degree. Good hold. Nice. 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Isaac, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, come in.
Good lift from Andrew. Clean openers. Yes, Joshua after Andrew. Get the weights ready. Right there.
That's fucked.
$65 opener.
The smiling.
So this is basically what happened during my cheat week after the Melbourne Fit Expo. I was eating so much nice foods. I'm talking like burgers, I'm talking Harajuku crepes, Yochi, Golden Gate Times, all these nice chocolates and stuff. I was just force feeding it in my body because I just wanted dopamine after dopamine after dopamine. And then eventually got to a point where I couldn't take it anymore. So I had to like vomit it. I had like explosive shits. It was crazy. Um, but I said to myself that on the 4th of April, they'll lock back in, and I locked back in. Overall, the Melbourne Fit Expo was the best Fit Expo we've ever run. The only complaint that people had was not having a proper timesheet set up. It would be cool if we had a big screen or a big board showing exactly when the rounds were going to happen. But it's so chaotic in these events, so you can't really plan for it. But that's something that we'll definitely try to do in the future. So for the Sydney Fit Expo, it's going to be a power free competition. And a big goal that we have, Brian and I, is to get overseas athletes. And we talk about this year after year, but it's really going to help grow the sport if we can get people from all parts of the world to come. So we're really trying to reach for the Malaysian crew and Nikki Lyons. I think that would be really, really dope. So part of this 24-week series is me showing you what it's like to communicate with people overseas and to organize all of this, because it doesn't come for free. You need to have funds set aside to run the event smoothly if a lot of big names are going to come. So that's the end of the video. I know it's a long one. I know it's a boring one, but I really needed to get it out of the way because I wanted to make this recap for so long. If you didn't like this video, then that's okay. You can press the dislike button. I won't cry. I really want to try to evolve these videos in the next 24 weeks. So not all of them will be the same. They'll be improving like 1% better, 5% better each time. Lots of people like entertaining content, challenges, that kind of stuff. So I have so much time and room to fit that in these next episodes. So glad I got this recap out of the way though. Most of the background information is just tossed to the side now. Let's move forward, and I'll see you in episode 2.